All right, gentlemen, so just want to cover what we spoke about in our Drive for Success topic that we had in our boot camp. So just to go over again, our main keys were we need to be able to control our contact point, which helps us control our ball flight. We then have to learn how to choose the proper target. And then we also talked just a little bit about centerness of contact as king for distance control. So I'm going to bring the club face up nice and close here to the screen. So if we hit the club out towards the toe of the club face, that's going to make our ball curve right to left. Okay, it's opposite. So if you hit on the toe, it's going to actually go left. If we hit on the heel, it's going to curve to the right. Hit in the center, and it's very tough to curve the ball too much. If we draw an equator line right in the middle of the club face, if we hit below that, the ball is going to spin more. It'll go straighter, but it'll go shorter. If we hit on the top part, it's going to spin less. It's going to go further. And it's going to spin less. So that's kind of the main things about where you hit the club face. So what we did is we sprayed the club face, and we noticed where we started to hit the ball most consistently. So if you are someone that wants to fade the ball left to right, we cannot hit anywhere on the toe. We want to hit in the center or a hair on the heel. Okay? If we are someone that wants to draw the ball right to left, we can never hit the heel of the club. We can only hit the 2/3 out here. Okay? If you can get to where you can hit the club between about this little V section consistently, you are not going to curve the ball very much, and you are going to be a fantastic driver of the golf ball. Fantastic driver of the golf ball, constantly are able to hit somewhere here in the center almost every single time. So if you're someone that hits towards the heel of the club, a little drill that you can do. I'm going to use this pipe just as a golf ball for us. Okay, and then I'm going to use this little pool floaty. What I might suggest is using a cardboard box, something that you might get shipped to your house. And what I want you to do is I want you to set that up right on the outside of the club head, like so. So you'll actually see how my club head is actually touching it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take slow motion practice swings to start, where you go up and where you come down and you miss the box. Okay? If you hit the heel, what would happen in the downswing is you would hit the box out here, and then you'd hit the ball off the heel. So in reality, in simple terms, in order to hit more centered, if you're a heel contact person, your hands are going to have to feel like they come in closer to you, more from the inside, and it's going to feel like you're going to miss the ball on the inside, but you'll actually deliver perfectly. Okay? So that's our main drill if you are a heel contact person, is we set a cardboard box right on the very outside part of the toe of the club, and we take swings until we can consistently miss the box. Okay. Now, if you are a toe contact person, this is very rare, okay, but if you are a toe contact person, we'd rather miss on the toe than the heel, so that's not a big change. We have two options. We could just stand a tiny bit closer to the ball, okay, or we would have to actually feel like we return the club further away from us a little bit. But toe contact is much better than heel contact, especially for those that are drawing the golf ball. If you are faders, heel contact is perfectly fine. You're going to hit a lot of fairways that way. That's a great thing. Again, we want to see if we can eliminate hitting the club on this very outer part and on this very outer part. If we can get to somewhere in here, you're going to have success driving the golf ball. Okay? One thing we talked about setup, or a few things. We talked about how we want to make sure we have just a subtle bend in our legs. So a little checkpoint is you're going to let your hands fall down, and your fingertips should go right to the top of your kneecap. That should be your setup for driver. You'll let your arms hang, and there we go. Okay, so you notice just a gentle flex in my knees. I'm not getting down to the golf ball like this. You'll see when my knees bend, see how my spine stands up. My knees are just slightly bent, my spine has to hinge over, and that's what we want to do in this sport. Okay, ball position wise, little way I'll step to the golf ball, feet together. I'll take a tiny little step with my left foot, big step with my right foot, and then my right shoulder will fall back with that. So that way we have a little launching pad to launch that ball up in the air. All right, awesome. So the last part of what we talked about was our field goal post idea. Okay, so I gave this analogy that when I get up to a tee box, I find my right furthest miss that I can have, and I find my left furthest miss that I can have. Okay, and then what I do is I split those uprights. Okay, so if there's OB right, I am going to find my right field goal post as pretty much right inside that OB line, and then I'm going to find my left OB post, and then I'm going to find right in the middle of those two. Remember this picture that I drew for on 2? Okay, on number 2, we would be aiming about middle left of the fairway. Okay. Now, once we get our field goal post and we find our middle spot of those 2 posts, we have to swing like we're hitting a golf ball out into the ocean. We can't swing and try to control that golf ball. We've planned for every possible outcome, so that should free you up to swing freely and swing like you're hitting a golf ball just into an ocean. Okay, that's extremely important as we are doing this field goal post and we're picking our target so we can swing freely. We are not picking aggressive targets and swinging cautiously. Okay. Very, very important topic off the tee box is picking safe targets and swinging freely. And now swing freely doesn't mean that you don't have to have a swing thought. You can have a swing thought. We can focus on impact point and making sure we're hitting in the right part of the golf club, or something very simple. That's okay. It still allows you to swing freely. We just need to plan for every scenario by choosing our field goal post and then finding the center of those field goal posts. Okay. So that's our summary for driving. One little thing I'd encourage everyone to do off the tee is when they set up to the ball is to find a point about 4 to 5 feet out in front of the golf ball and aim the club at that point. Okay, so that's going to help you aim this club face and aim your body properly. Biggest tendency I tend to find off the tee is people tend to aim too far left. And that is because we play golf from the side. So because we play golf from the side, our target is actually more right than what it looks when we stand on the side of the golf ball. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll take a stick and I'll put a stick out here in front of my golf ball. Okay, so let's use this pool floaty as a stick reference. Okay. Now, when you're standing at the golf ball, that pool floaty will be right on line with your target, but it's going to look out to the right. Okay, it's going to look like it's too far right. So in reality, a lot of times I see people aim too far left thinking that they're aimed right, but they're actually aimed too far left. Okay, so picking a little target out in front of the golf ball will help you aim your club and get settled in. Once you get settled in, again, we're swinging freely, confidently to the middle of our field goal post. All right, so that wraps up our Get Off the Tee with Success. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Just remember that contact point and ball flight go hand in hand. So get some foot spray. Ask us if you need any. Can always give you some to borrow when you're at the range. But it is very important to get very good at getting your contact point, seeing the ball flight, and learning how you can help control your ball flight with that contact point. Once we get that ball flight and contact more in the center and straighter ball flight, the field goal post and picking your center target is going to lead you to a lot of success off the tee. Look forward to seeing everyone next week. Thanks, guys.